Hi and welcome to another holistic 3D tutorial on YouTube. I know it's been a long time between drinks, but we're back again. We've had our channel hacked and we've been doing some really exciting stuff, and I'm really excited to bring this to you, this tutorial on how to get a ShaderToy shader working in OpenGL in Python. So to begin with, I'm going to show you a video that I've created for a new course of mine, which is all about this particular topic area, which will teach you where to get the IDE from and all the necessary tools. So watch that, and as you follow along, and this will work on both Windows and Mac. So yeah, get all these tools, and when I come back in the next video, I will start going through the code that you have to put together to do this. In this lecture, we're going to look at how to set up your IDE or integrated development environment to work with Python, Pycharm, and also OpenGL. So first of all, you're going to need a version of Python on your machine. Now, if you've got a Mac with Linux running in the background of it, then it's going to have a version of Python on there already, but you might want to get a more updated version. So if we come to python.org, the first page you'll get will look similar to this, depending on the date, I guess, that you're looking at it. And then if you go into the downloads, you'll be able to download a version. Now you can see this is the version that I'm getting. With Python and all of these associated libraries that we'll install, it's not necessary that you're using the exact same one as I am. It's going to be a little bit more forgiving because we're using Python, which is a fairly standardized language, and we're using a couple of packages that are also fairly standardized, especially OpenGL, which has been around forever. So whilst if you might be further down the track looking at this than when I've actually created this course, you might run into a few little tweaky issues that will have to be fixed. You should be good to go with the latest sort of version, especially if you stick with whatever version of Python 3 that there is. Okay, so I've got that. Now, once you've got Python and downloaded it and run through the actual setup for it on your machine, the next thing you need is to get Pycharm. Now, Pycharm is at jetbrains.com, and you'll see the actual link there on your screen. And there's two versions of it that you can get. So there's a professional version and there's also a free community one. It's okay to use the free community version. So just click on download and then you'll get to pick which version that you want then. Again, I'm on a Mac, so it's going to give me the option of downloading a Mac version. And this one over here, the community free one, is fine to go with. The particular version that I've got is this one here. Now, if they have later versions, of course, you can try and use that. On both Python's website and also on JetBrains for Pycharm, you'll find that you can get other versions, so older versions, if you need to get like a previous one that I might be using that is working with the things that we're doing in this course. So just consider that if you're having issues. Okay, so basically you want to download those and install them. Once you've done that, you'll have Pycharm to open up. Okay, so let's have a look at what that looks like. When you open it up for the very first time, you'll get a window asking you to create a project. Now, I've used it before, so I'm not getting that window. But the same thing you can get to if you go up to your menu system and go File, New Project. It will give you this window here. Let me bring that over for you. Now, you want to set up the project location. Okay, so this is basically your root directory where all of your Pycharm projects will go, and then you want a project name on the end here. Okay, so we're going to call it, say, H3D Py OpenGL, like that. Now we're going to go for a new environment using virtual environment. What the beauty of this is with virtual environments is it allows you to have a different version of Python being used for different projects. So if you're actually working on someone else's project in a different version of Python, you can be using that in there, whilst in another project you could be using a much older version or even a newer version. And you can set the base interpreter for that version here. Okay, so if I click on that thing, you'll see here that I've got Python 3.10 installed, but my machine actually has a whole heap of other versions of Python going right back to sort of the basic initial Python version 1 here, but I'm going to make sure that I'm using 3.10, which was the latest one that I've downloaded. Now, the other things you need to do on here, well, is nothing. So make sure that all of these other boxes aren't ticked. Okay, and then we'll just click on create, and then you're going to end up with a window that looks like this. Now, this is the window where we'll do all of our development and run all of our applications from. So we have a little project window over here which you can fold back and forward. It shows you the directory structure basically that we're working with. So here's the folder that we just created. Then we have our virtual environment files in here. So these things here you're just going to see, but pretty much just ignore that they're in there. Anything under this folder you can create by going right click new, and you can create a Python file. This will be the one we're using the most, or you can actually create a directory or folder if you want to organize things yourself within that particular folder. Within Pycharm, there's a whole bunch of different options you can do. So there's like settings or menu options that you can click on. You can also change things as far as the appearances here. There's also another little settings over in this corner, which is your IDE project settings. If you can't see that cogwheel there, then you can actually get to it in the menu system, and it might vary depending on whether you're in Windows or not. But on a Mac, if we go Pycharm preferences, we end up in a very similar place over to here. But you've also got this theme that you can select, and that will allow you to change what you see on the screen here if you want to change your fonts around. Now I'm going to change my theme back to the dark one, which is this one here, so that you can see it better on a video. When we come back in the next lecture, we will start adding all of the packages we need to get this project underway.